about it. And I think that we're going to try to look at doing like 2 streams a day. Things are happening and we need to be paying attention. Welcome to stream number 2 of the day. If you missed stream number 1, go back and watch it. Phenomenal. Looking like a big Halloween week ahead. Don't forget, Halloween is this week. And this pumpkin might look familiar for anyone that ever watched or played Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game. Or if you watched the show, one of the characters from way back in the day. And I'm feeling like a hell of a bit nostalgic around Yu-Gi-Oh! TMA, you know when the NFT market's rough? Because we got Doodles announcing collabs with Fruit Loops and Universal Studios and gets added to 3 more exchanges. And not a whole lot happens. Bored Ape Yacht Club announced 8 new things, including partnership with Amazon, BMW, 8Pay, and more. And people are just on the timeline completely complaining about the whole thing. We went over the majority of that in stream number 1. Pudgy announced collabs with DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda and shows up track with full Pengu. Hold on, what the hell? Pudgy announced collabs with DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda and shows up track with full Pengu branding. I don't know. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, cool. But Kung Fu Panda, we're still waiting to see what happens with Pudgy Penguins. But it's like cool, but then people ask the question, all right, well, what about the NFTs and the value for them? Yet somehow the floors of all these major collections are either where they were or up or down 2 to 3%. There were times when we used to dream about projects delivering on this level. These 3 teams and more like Chimpers, Claynosaurs, Fugs, and more have been breaking outside the Web3 echo chamber. It's crazy to me that people don't think NFTs have a future when we are seeing partnerships of this caliber. We are seeing teams deliver more and setting the bar higher. Never been more bullish on NFTs. We are so early. I completely agree with this entire thing. I'm going to be completely honest. It is so weird. We do this like every day, and think of how weird and niche it is, right? But we still get like 50 to 100 viewers. The podcast is picking up every single week, and my forehead's doing that thing where I look super sweaty, but it's not. I swear to God. Listen, a little bit of moisturizer here and there, trying to look all right. Now I'm looking like I'm going like I'm coming out of the gym or something. Unreal. But think of what we do every single day. And looking at the NFT space, all the news we cover, and how many people give opinions and are just glued to what's going on. So in the earlier stream, we talked about ComplexCon. These are a couple of the designers that helped out with the merchandise that was available at the booth at ComplexCon. Love seeing that. And there's a video just outside where they did food from Bored and Hungry, which was just a business that used Bored Apes' branding.
Yo, GM8, so we are here at ComplexCon. Bored and Hungry is here. Look at our burgers. So I'm hoping to see you all here in line. We have an 8 express line just for you 8, so everyone can line up here. So yeah, go grab your burgers. We're here in the food hall outside the ComplexCon area. I'll see you guys here.
So giving out free food for the apes, hell yeah, love it. But very cool either way. I've seen a barbershop as well that took their whole branding and did it off of apes. And you really never know. Just look kind of like a fun character. And Star-Lordy from the Oni Force team talking about the fact that they are going to add the new Ape Pay. If you've not seen, ApeCoin over the past several years has been dropped to or earned for holders of Bored Apes with a certain amount of tokens. Now that's going to be ending because it was like on a vest for 3 years. And now they're saying, hey, we're going to add it to our Smash Royale game. Well, we looked at the booth earlier, and I didn't realize that this was that same project. But from Oni Force coming to ApeChain, have you noticed a lot of the NFTs have gone over to ApeChain? Now, not all of them, but we're starting to see more and more of them trying to get on that chain. Now we think, all right, you know, the future is multi-chain, of course. But at the same time, does certain chains have more of a pull than others? Haliax, what's going on? How are we doing? So this is Amazon's BizDev, who is a part of the announcement where there is going to be a character skin for Other Side on the Amazon front page. So William Morris, business dev lead at Amazon Video Game, What excites me most about this drop isn't just the store launch. It's what it represents. Creators and communities shaping the next era of gaming. Seamless CX meets digital ownership, innovation built for fans. Proud, our team helped bring Other Side and Yuga Labs to Amazon. Is this finally the moment that we say, all right, something has lived up to expectations? And we can't answer that question now. We got to wait until the whole world is open. But think of the game around Dr. Disrespect, or maybe it was Off the Grid, and then there was Dead Drop. Both of those got a lot of like mainstream attention, and then it felt like they kind of just lost that attention. More comments regarding the same thing. Gaming IPs are redefining retail. Other Side's move to Amazon isn't just a launch, it's a signal of where digital worlds meet real-world discovery. Thursday marks an inflection point. Could be a big week, as we've said. Also, people are doing like private dinners. Can you imagine going out and you have your own band and people walking around just for you and a couple of other tables? Unreal. But Pudgy Penguins, Kung Fu Panda, NASCAR, Pez, Walmart, Target, Books A Million. Pudgy Penguins are everywhere. And Luke is saying the best is yet to come. Again, we're getting into Q4. How many people are doing this big Christmas hoopla? This is really weird in like a good way, but I don't really know what it is. So Tanoy made a tweet, says, if you don't know these 25 names, you're not really in story protocol yet. And then I'm in this, and I'm like, well, I haven't done anything with story protocol at all. I think I made a shorts video once, but is this off of like a certain topic? Is this something I don't really tweet a lot. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe I'll occasionally say something, but I try to save it for stream because I think it's a lot more fun to, converse about it when you don't know tonality, of course, across text. People take things way out of proportion. But what they have to say about me, Schillerverse, storytelling god tier. Yo, thank you. I appreciate that. This is probably the last time I post the top 20 coins on the abstract list for a while, says Ellie. And basically it's a chart where most of it is, I don't know, I guess down. I feel like I've just like opened the timeline and a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, this ecosystem's not doing well. We had kind of like this sort of thing where like Binance and Binance Chain meme coins went crazy. People went to that. Then they're like, oh, I don't know about that. And then they're over on base. And then people are saying, well, no, go back over to BNB. And then the Solana crowd's saying, hey, stuff's starting to populate over there. Like there's so many distractions. And there's so few times that I feel like an abstract chain is going to have probably a lot of maxis. You go over to Solana, there's going to be a lot of people over there. In what world do all of these like come together where you don't have those barriers? Or is everybody like hyper diversified? I don't buy it. The sandbox. Listen, time to time I've been like, all right, the sandbox seems to have all these major IPs. What the hell is it going to take to get more people paying attention? And then I looked at the video and I was like, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. So take a look. Of their like upcoming worlds, they have a Jurassic World component, Black Mirror, Terminator, King Kong Skull Island, Steve Aoki, G-Shock. If you remember the watch, notice certain brands that come into Web3 like really try to come into Web3. If you remember Doodles did the collab. Cirque du Soleil. Are we talking about like the circus act is coming to the sandbox? We are getting to a wild place. Attack on Titan. Oh my goodness. The show comes to life in the sandbox. Peaky Blinders, the Smurfs. Dressed up as a Smurf for Halloween once. The blue shirt didn't fit me, and some lady, when I walked into the college, was like, why don't you wear clothes that fit? And I'm like, what are you mad about, lady? Listen, I'm the one that like is wearing a shirt where my gut's hanging out and everything's, I don't know. So another cool thing that happened was Motebit here, who listened to the RWA SegMints podcast that we do and did like an entire breakdown with a graphic of what the show was about with the key takeaways, which of course I would highly recommend that you go and listen to yourself in the link in the description down below on YouTube or in my bio on X, or if you type in RWA SegMints on any podcasting platform. But the key takeaways from the Portals show: revenue matters more than narrative for surviving. Web 2 venture capitalists care about fundamentals. Crypto venture capitalists often chase short short-term hype. AAA quality is not the answer. Accessibility and creation tools are. Play to Earn created fake engagement and collapsed when rewards were sold. Portal's built a browser-based world where anyone can make and play games instantly. No-code tools, real users and creators earning real income. Partnerships like Atari X Portals show how Web3 and classic IPs can work together. So a little bit more than that, but quick little TLDR. Ton of other shows with some great people talking with other conversations that are upcoming that are going to be absolutely fire. I would love for you guys to check that out. Payments processor Zeal to allow crypto stablecoins for international transactions. Continuing to have these massive news. Don't forget, it's a big week. The Bored Ape Poker Classic, of course, at the event, we saw this. Very cool to see the extra branding and real-life use case for it. They paid out a total prize pool of $32,000 for anybody that played. So if you're watching, you're good at poker. Theoretically, if you went to this event, you could have won $7,191. Theoretically. Always got to dream. Garga from Yuga Labs. Big announcement. Thrilled to welcome my friend Adam Weitzman as major investor in ApeCoin and one of the token's largest individual holders. Adam's been an amazing partner, and I'm grateful for his long-term conviction in Yuga Labs. His track record as a builder makes him an incredible addition for ApeCoin's next chapter. Now, this is one of the few people that are like publicly billionaires, and Adam's been back in Yuga Labs like absolute crazy town. So what happens with other big players that come in the space? They're like, hey, we like these communities. We want to make some noise. What ends up happening? VC's out, Adam all in. Well, that's what we're about to get to because there's been some rumors out there that the VCs have gotten bought out. And Heavy Sugar, good to see you. I keep pounding the table, being like, guys, everything seems to be doing buybacks. Said it a couple months ago when it started happening, and then Zed Champions, formerly Zed Run, saying buybacks are just getting started. So another ecosystem that's doing buybacks on their token. Just seems to be the biggest thing. Hopefully this one's obvious, but Pudgy Penguins will not email you with instructions to download a desktop wallet. Okay, hi, what's going on? How are we doing? You doing good? Me too. Please pay attention. You're going to get emails that seem ridiculously authentic. You're going to think for a second, holy smokes, mother of pearl, they got a new drop. This is my favorite IP. Whether it be Pudgy Penguins, whether it be Bored Ape, whether it be some other game that you play every day like Call of Duty, who knows? But there is a mass operation somewhere in the world that is trying to get your crypto. All right? Be very careful with any of this stuff. I wouldn't even look at emails from certain things. And you know what? You read it and be like, all right, I'm throwing that in the trash. And then you go and find the site, whatever you need, manually. Because it is scary out there. It is scary out there. Things are just getting way more authentic. So again, remember, everything is fake but not true. But friendly reminder, big week ahead. Peckham, what's going on? How are we? Yo, Jeremy, how are we? Are they buying back my losses? I don't think so, but maybe this billionaire at Pantera Capital will be.
I would say that although, the past cycles are indicative or predictive of, how it's gone in the past, the regulatory changes in the U.S., I think, just trump everything. They're just huge. And so I think we still have another leg to this rally to go. And so I think if all these endowments come in, all these sovereigns come in that we're seeing, frankly, we're going to put the money to work, right? Because when we raise the money, we're not going to sit around for 5 years. We're going to do it, and our peers are going to do the same. So I think the next 6 to 12 months are still a big rally. And again, I know it it could.
I know it's horrible because you're going to be hung by the internet by saying you said it was going to extend, but I think it's going to extend.
Yeah, I would say that although, the past cycles are...
Yo, listen, all these big players, they're wearing suits. They got these big titles. You know what I mean? Have you ever... Listen, this is the thing. If you ever go and you're going to do like a live stream, you're going to be a guest somewhere, just make the biggest, most top of the line position title. You know what I mean? Like senior executive vice president and then like whatever your title is. You know what I mean? You got to make it sound big even if you're not that. Because who the hell's gonna fact check you? Absolutely nobody. In case you missed it, from Robbie Ferguson, Microsoft is partnering with the biggest mobile game studio in Korea to accelerate Web3 gaming adoption using AI. The games will be on Immutable. You know, anybody out here that's watching from Futureverse, I was tweaking out, watching some of the other side updates earlier, just being like, what could have been? What could have been? Immutable, chugging away. I would be elated to know how many partnerships end up like leaving the Futureverse huddle to go on some of these other ones. How many major partnerships did they end up fumbling? Unreal. But Pudgy Penguins are on these Papadoms, the famous lentil crisp, sweet chili. Love at first bite. What do you think? I mean, these are just brand things. I find it so weird when people get like worked up about something when it's like, guys, these are just supposed to be like fun things that you see. Nah, I'm not going to buy that, chips. It's a different NFT. What are we talking about? The monthly candle on Bitcoin is insane, to be honest. Happen to be comfy in spot, says Chief. Look at this. Candle above 125 and candle below, well, just above 100. Look at the swings we've had this month. Talk about a roller coaster. Mamma mia. NFTs are taking over traditional media, and that's why we're covering it, because shouldn't say nobody else is, but everybody's going to have their preference of how we're going to review history. You know what I'm saying? So Pudgy Penguins announced partnership with DreamWorks, bringing penguins to the Kung Fu Panda world. Bored Ape Yacht Club announced partnership with Amazon, bringing Other Side to the front page of Amazon Gaming. Also announced Bored Ape Studios to produce the anime. For Claynosaurs, they announced Hebo. It's a launch pad connecting creators with fans. Added Sherry Gunther as a co-CEO of Hebo, who has worked with major brands and won 2 Emmy Awards. For Chimpers, announced partnership with Doritos, the drink brand. Dropped Telegram sticker pack with them, and it was free for holders if you had a Chimpers. Doodles announced partnership with Universal Pictures, bringing Universal classic monsters to the Doodle style. And a really awesome graphic here from Carl's highlighting all of them, and Doritos seems to be kicking around. One of the brands that got in super early, still trying to do things within the Web3 umbrella. Odds of MetaMask token launch in 2025 are soaring. They're flying. A little bit of High School Musical, you know, the rest of it. But now up to 38% on Polymarket, up 100% on the day. Why was this? Well, it seemed that there was a code or website that people like typed in claim.metamask.com, and there was a enter password, and they were like, oh my goodness, there's potentially a claim that's happening. And so that spiked. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Citi is leaning hard into crypto. What is this about? Article from Bloomberg. Citigroup and Coinbase Global, excuse me, you guys can't see that. Sorry. There we go. Are teaming up to provide expanded digital asset payment capabilities to the bank's corporate clients. The latest instance of major Wall Street firms looking to the blockchain for innovation after years of warnings from regulators about the risks of the asset class. The collaboration will initially focus on exploring making transferring out of crypto and into fiat currencies and the reserve easier for Citi's institutional clients, including across borders. Ho, ho, ho. Silo is up 145% today. Dude, I am so confused about that entire thing still. Like, Shen made it seem that the network was just like, hey, we've unlocked the website, unstake, that's it. Like, is somebody randomly speculating because the market cap got crushed? I'm wondering. But don't forget, weak, big, true. Just days away, Punk's issue 2 fulfillment begins. We've covered the Pixel Vault drama. Pixel Vault has been sold, given, transferred, acquired by Josh Blaylock and Chris Wall, who was the artist and writer of Punk's comic from Pixel Vault early on. So post-Punk is the X account that if you'd like to follow, they're going to be having claims for that. If you remember way back when, trying to complete some of the things originally talked about and planned for Pixel Vault. So very, very happy to see that and more to come. Just in, Amazon to fire 30,000 employees starting tomorrow. Holy smokes. Is this like an economic thing? Is this an AI robotics thing? Hoi, that is not a great headline to read. Now, back to what was going on with ApeCoin. We saw that announcement with Adam Weitzman earlier that he was becoming a big partner within ApeCoin. and then reports or rumors that the VCs got bought out. Bullish as F, the down only started with the VC raise, the up only is going to be now. Again, speculation a wee bit, but we'll see. And in particular for ApeCoin and Yuga as a whole. New Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas says it looks like Bitwise Solana, Canary Litecoin, and Canary HBAR to launch tomorrow, and Grayscale Solana to convert the day after, assuming there's not some last-minute SEC intervention. So all these reports are coming out of congratulations for the Solana ETF. Bitwise, big weekend coming. Teddy Fusaro, probably nothing. Who is this? The president of Bitwise. If you don't know what Bitwise is, big player in the space. And then what's this final thing that I'll leave you with? The big whale's Gregory Raymond reports that IBM is unveiling Digital Asset Haven, a new platform enabling its clients, particularly banks, to offer custody and payment services for crypto assets by the end of the year. I don't know. Things are happening. The headlines are cooking. And I hope you enjoyed that session of XFeed. Again, we go live Monday through Friday. We're going to try to maybe do 2 streams a day. We'll see if the news ends up picking up tomorrow as well. There was a lot over the weekend. We'll see. If you're wanting more content, of course, check out the stream from earlier in the day, and otherwise the RWA SegMints Podcast in the link in the description below or in my bio on X. Hallie Hacks, Heavy Sugar, Peckham, Jeremy. Thank you guys for coming on live, and anybody else watching afterwards. Like, shares are appreciated. See you tomorrow. Peace.